Hello everybody, this is Greg29407 back with another edition of Shroud of the Avatar. Well, here we are with Dozer again, as usual, and we are just outside South Midmaer Way. We have our map right here, it shows you where we're at in Novia. We're just south of Kiln, and I've actually done an episode on South Midmaer Way quite a while ago. Things have changed. Back then, this was a clone scene. It was a clone of my all-time favorite map in this game, which was like the White Guard Foothills map, and it's one that I use a lot for getting resources for crafting. I like a lot of trees and iron and copper and things like that. Well, they've changed things. This is still a Tier 2 adventure area, but this is now a unique map. It has a redoable puzzle in here called the Blessing of Agility, which we're going to do today. It has a one-time thing where we're going to do basically the Blessing of Agility and get some treasure at the end as well. It's a one-time thing, but if you really want the Blessing of Agility, which gives, I think, plus 20 or 30 to Dexterity and minus 10 to Strength, then this is a mission you'll be doing every 3 days or so. And it's got a pretty good puzzle to it, so I thought we'd go through here. And let's go ahead and enter into the area. And then we'll go through into the default. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through, which I think is probably one of the faster ways of doing this, because if you're doing it every 3 days, it's like, oh my gosh, I got to just hurry up and get through this. But we do want to stop and read some of the stuff as well. What I also want to do, though, is show you some improvements I've made on Dozer since our last episode. I've actually redone all of his armor and got some big updates and things. So first of all, he looks exactly the same as always, as we can see. And but the difference is I've actually created all this. I went ahead and salvaged all this armor that I bought. I bought this armor from the add-on store, so all the stats on it were pretty low. It looks good, but it just wasn't that powerful, of course. So what I did was I went ahead and collected a whole lot of iron ore, and I gave it to my other character Tiffany, who does a lot of mining and blacksmithing and things like that, and she made up all this armor for me. So it looks the same because I put the eternal patterns on, but it's really a lot more powerful. So for instance, you see on his chest is now meteoric iron black clockwork armor chest piece +2 is plate chest armor. And as you can see here, I have a plus 40.6% damage resistance and plus 0.2% weapon damage, so the fizzle chance. So I have all that, damage avoidance and everything, and actually all of the armor that I've got on here, I've gone ahead and done meteoric. And what that does is, notice we have where it says resistance, damage resistance, is now 30.7 with a max of 64.3. Now, before I switched over to this meteoric and made this, the resistance was, I think, 27.3. And max was about, I think, 59 or something like that. So this is a nice big improvement on this. The max may have been because I leveled up some. But the damage resistance definitely went up quite a bit on this. And my avoidance went up as well. Now, it could go up a decent amount more because, as you can see, I don't have any kind of masterworking or enchantments on here yet. I'm not really good at that, so I just wanted to, I spent so much on making this meteoric iron stuff that I didn't want to screw it up by, doing some masterwork and mess things up and, ruin it or anything. I am going to do that or have someone do that for me at some point and make my armor even tougher. But, the key to this character is I want him to be a tank. I want him to be really tough and handle a lot of stuff and really take on a lot of damage. And this has actually improved him a decent amount. Now, the thing that I wish was that I could get this max amount up higher. That's really, really important. And again, 64.3. Now, this used to be much higher for every player. It was very high. In fact, like about 3 releases ago, I had this character of about 87%. Now, what happens is when somebody hits me for some damage, I'm either going to resist either 30.7 points of their damage they do to me, or up to 64.3% of what they do, the lesser of those two. So in other words, if somebody hits me for, say, 40 damage, okay, then I'm going to either resist 30.7 points of that, so I only take 10 points, or 64% of 40, which is 25 points. So the lesser of those two would be the 24 or 25. So instead of getting hit for 40 points, I get hit for 16 points. If an enemy hits me for 100 points, then I'm going to resist either 30.7 of that or 64% of that. And the lesser of those would be the 30.7. So instead of taking 100 points of damage, I'll take 69.3 points of damage. So these things help, and it's nice to have those up. Now, about, I think, 2 builds ago, suddenly this max number went crazy. And I logged in one night, and I had like max damage of 117%. So I went into Ulfheim, and I was like running around killing all these gigantic bears, like 2 or 3 or 4 at a time, and my health bar was not moving at all, man. It was awesome. But it was a little too easy. I think someone messed up. They put a decimal point in the wrong place or something. So they pulled it down. They pulled it way down. And this seems a little low to me. The maximum you can get your max resistance now is 75%. That seems a little low. I think you ought to be able to get 85%. But, you know, I don't make those calls. But anyway, so that's what it is. So I think if I masterwork, I'll get him a little stronger. But this does help out. Now, what I found is he can take on high-level enemies pretty good. But what his kryptonite here is if he gets hit by a bunch of like lower-level enemies, and they're all hitting him all at the same time, the resistance thing kicks in like once every 2 seconds or something like that. So, you know, someone hits you and then 2 seconds later it's going to kick in again. So if you're getting hit by like 7 or 8 different enemies, even if they're low-level enemies, most of those shots are going to get through if they're all hitting you at the same time. So you suddenly, it's like that health bar goes down really fast if you're fighting a bunch of low-level green enemies, as opposed to if you're hitting one high-level like orange enemy. So it's something to look out for. Anyway, in order to build this, I decided to do the meteoric iron because I went to the that museum that I took you guys to in Rinzai, and I did all my research on it and decided to go with meteoric iron. And the way I had to make that was I needed, 288 iron ore. And I needed 72 nickel and 72 tungsten. And the 288 iron ore, when I mixed that with metal scraps, that created 144 iron ingots. Because with the metal scraps, it only takes 2 iron ore to make an iron ingot. If I didn't have the metal scraps, it would have taken 4. So I would have needed not 288 iron ore, but 570, some high number. So I took the 144 iron ingots and the 72 nickel and the 72 tungsten, and I made meteoric sheets, like 72 meteoric iron ingots. Meteoric iron ingots. So I had 72 of those. And then took those 72 meteoric iron ingots and made 24 meteoric sheets. And those meteoric sheets were exactly what I needed to make the chest piece, the helmet, the gloves, the boots, and the leggings for Dozer. So I also did bronze binding. I needed 3 bindings, so I had to create some bronze bindings for a little bit of weapons damage. So it took a long time to do. It took a lot of mining, a lot of saving up. So it took a long time. But I think it was worth it. Maybe it wasn't, but I think it was. And once I get it masterworked and enchanted, it'll be even better. So anyway, that's where we're at with this. And I've also leveled him up a decent amount. Let me see. So yeah, he's now adventure level 67. So I've been working. That's high for me. I've got a bunch of characters, and I like playing all my characters. So I spread my time out among a lot of them. So none of them are really super high or anything. I've been trying to talk a lot to try and wait for us to get through the nighttime, because we're now in South Midmaer Way, and we're at the midnight, so I think we'll start to head into town. Here's the map, the new North Midmaer Way, or South Midmaer Way. And as you can see, there's a little town in the middle, and there's a dried up old lake over here, and we're going to see all of this. And in this little town, there is right over here is a big stone lion head. And we're going to go over there and we'll see what it wants us to do. We need to go there anyway. And you can also see there are a bunch of like little caves here. There's a little cave here, a little cave here, and one there. And there's one here and one here. There's a ship up here. And there's another cave here. 2 caves here, 2 caves here. So there's a lot of little secret things. And I came through and I just started exploring this map. And I spent maybe 2 hours just kind of wandering around. And as always, I started off and I started going counterclockwise. And I went all the way around the outside of the map. And over here, I was looking around. I went in all these caves. I could never find this one right here. I couldn't find out how to get there. I was on top of this. I was walking all on top of this. I couldn't find any way into this thing. So I don't know. But I'm wandering around, and I went into this gulch down here, but I found my way out because there was a vine I could climb up. And so finally I just decided to get down to business to try and figure out what this puzzle was. And basically what it is there's 3 different, these little hidden sarcophagus. One's here, and then one is right here. And you have to have a sword, a spear, and an axe. And one of them is emerald, one is ruby, and one is sapphire. And you got to match up the right colors on those 3 things, and then it'll open up this this lion's mouth, and you can go inside the lion's mouth and get your treasure. So that's what we're going to do. So our first order of business, I think, is we'll run into town. And I'll show you the lion's head that we're going to go to. It has like clues and stuff on it that says, like little secret things and things. And we'll see what that says. One thing, I am doing this in private mode, as you can see at the top here, only because since we're going to be like running around the map and clicking on specific things, we're going to find these things and have to put them in the right places. I didn't know if someone else coming in and starting doing the same mission would kind of screw us up or not. So I decided to do it in private mode. Maybe you can do it in public mode. I don't know. So here's the little, this is like a little bazaar. A lot of kobolds here. These guys you don't fight. And there you have like merchants and things. And so you can buy some of your regular stuff in here. They even have some cotton seeds over here too, which is pretty helpful. Now the guy, well, let's see. Let's go to the lion head first. So it's right up here at the top of this road. And they try to make this to look like that lion head in the concept art that we have when we're logging into different maps and you're waiting for it, and it shows a little thing when you're trying to wait to go into the next map. And they always had that lion head out in the desert. So they try to make that look like this. It's pretty cool looking. So there's a lion head up there. You can see his teeth and his mouth and everything. And this is the door we need to get into. And you can see it's got like a green, a red, and a blue in three ways there. So it looks kind of like a Simon board or something. And down here is our clues. So one must gain the approval of the 3 regents before seeking audience with the king. Ankert's reach extends beyond that of his spear. And I wrote all this stuff down too because, this is all clues and everything. Celier's strength is drawn from her illegible. And illegible worth lies not in his sapphires. So right away that gives us kind of some of the clues we want. So the first thing we want to do, now I could tell you how I just kind of wandered around. I actually found the lion's head thing at the very end because I've spent all my time running on the outside of the map, and this is kind of the middle. But I'm going to show you probably the fastest way of doing this. So we're going to come back into the middle of this bazaar. We're going to find this fawn who's kind of standing around. He's not behind one of the counters. He's a nice little guy. He's just kind of standing off here by himself. Hello, come to buy something? And let's be nice. Let's ask him for his name. His name is Fleck. And let's see if we can help him. He won't let us help him. And then I'm going to click on buy. You want to trade, friend? Fleck only have one thing to trade. Sell for 1 gold. You want? Sure, I'll pay 1 gold. All right. So we got the emerald set axe Keystone from Fleck. That's important. All right. Perfect. First thing we need is right there. So now we're going to head back the way we came. Let's look at the map. So here's the entrance. We're going to head back over here, but then we're going to take a turn over this way. And we're going to walk over here to this cave right over here. And it's kind of a big, there's not this first cave, it's the second cave. And this is where we want to go because that's the first of the sarcophagus we need to use. And this is the one we need to use this emerald axe we just got at. So we're gonna save as many steps as possible as we can do this. As you may remember on our last episode, we had our other character, Euclid Space Prince, and he's a tamer, and we did some taming stuff, and we got the blessing of the tamer. Well, that character's done pretty well. The taming has worked out pretty well for me, and I have some high-end animals now, like patriarch bears, and I like using the hefty and huge crocodiles. But I have to, every 3 days when I'm playing that character, I have to go back in and do that blessing of the tamer again. And it's a pain in the neck. But I got it down to a size. I run by, hit those 3 statues, turn them the right way, run into that cave, kill the skeletons, get the blessing of the tamer, and get the heck out of there. So it's a matter of just doing stuff by rote. So we're going to run over here. And there's the first cave. And you can do all these caves. There's some skeletons over here. And I did all these caves I could find. And again, there's a bunch of stuff you can collect. There's some copper, there's a bunch of trees. But we're just going to go straight to what we need to do. If you want to explore, this is good. Also, if you're a lower level character, this is once again a really good map to use. What I found was this is really useful. I got a lot of trees, a lot of the enemies are not that tough. You got a few skeletons and some pirate guys and that kind of thing. So it's not bad at all. All right, so that door is blocked up. So I'm going to click this thing and blow it up. Pretty cool. And all these things have traps. So there's a fire trap. And there's a spider. Again, they're all low-level stuff. But again, if you're around level 2, this may be a little bit more of a challenge, but it'll be a good challenge for you, and you get some good XP on it. Okay, so here's the first sarcophagus. Let me get these spiders killed first. Light this place up a little bit. Is that all the spiders we got? All right. Now, we have the emerald axe. So I'm going to click on this right here because it's emerald self-mechanism. And I put the axe in there. And it lit up. So we're in the right direction. Here's another spider. Let's kill this guy. All right. Now let's go into this cave. We're getting a lot of good spider silk in here too. So if you're a character that needs a lot of magic reagents, this is a good place for spider silk. We got a bunch of these small spiders that we'll go ahead and kill. Again, not too challenging, but that's okay. Again, when you're just doing this a million times in a row, then it's going to be a pain in the neck. So now in this spider web, right here, there's a sword. That was a sapphire sword. So click on here. Yeah, sapphire set sword keystone set. All right, perfect. They get traps in here. Stuff is falling on your head and things, and so see that? A big old rock came down, tried to crash on my head. All right, so let's head back out. That was close. That was a little too close. All right. Now let's look at the map again. So now we have the sapphire thing. We got to. So we want to do next. Checking my notes. Yes, we're going to go straight north, past that dried up lake, and there's a real big sword up here. We're going to go to this airship. We're going to fight some bad guys, but we're going to go past this airship and go in here to this tunnel right here. So that's where we're going next. I'm going to bypass all these great trees and other things because I don't think the video lasts too long. So you can come through here and do any kind of exploring. One thing that I'm working on now on this particular character, because I am using bludgeon quite a bit, I have my bludgeon specialization. And so this is actually helping out. It's making much more powerful. It just makes all the attacks I'm using that much more damaging. In some cases, that's like a stun, that kind of thing. And we're in the middle of double experience week right now, so that's pretty helpful too. So it's a good time to pull out some of my other characters I don't play very often and kind of work on them a little bit. Oops. And again, this map has a few enemies here and there. They have some wild boars that you can fight. I'm going to try and bypass it because it's more of a pain in the neck than anything else for this one. And there's the airship up there. Several of my characters I have are using light armor. They have like leather or cloth. And the one good thing about light armor is you can use Swift to make the guy run a lot faster, and I can't remember the name of the other one, but it's really handy. And when I was playing one of those guys like last night, so right now Dozer is moving at a really snail's pace. Like, oh man, come on, run. So there are some advantages to having light armor. Right now, there's the airship. And we're going to see some bad guys around the bottom. And you see that there's like a rope hanging down. So that's what we're going to be aiming for. We'll dispatch this guy. Hello, my friend. Can I get aboard your ship? Thank you. Oh, this guy's waiting for us. Oh boy, he's trying to divide and conquer here. So if you are lower level, take your time on this. Now, we could go out to, that's where we want to go right there. But first of all, let's go downstairs into the ship. Make a little pit stop here. And let's go in this little back room. And up against this wall right here is the ruby set spear Keystone. Let's nab it. All right, so that's what we're going to need. Let's look at the map. So the sapphire thing we're going to use right here, and the ruby thing we just got, we're going to use right over here. So that's why we were so intent on getting these 3 items. All right, let's go back. Let's go up to this cave. I'm trying to avoid fighting these guys if possible. Uh-oh, oh no! There you go. Okay. Ah! Yeah, they got those little traps around here. Alright. It's like turning all these lights. There's no reason for that, but... let's come on out of the fire, guys. That guy's just standing around that fire. Come on, man. What the heck? Come out of there. Idiot. Alright, so here's the next one of these things. Let's kill this guy. The next sarcophagus. Oh, I forgot to read the little clue on the first one. The first one said illegible. This one says Donathal the Wealthy. So, and this is the one we had to put in the sapphire. So let's click on that. And lit up blue. Okay. And having those names is kind of is a giveaway to those clues we saw on the lion's head. So if you didn't know which ones you're supposed to go to where, then that name Donathal would give you some of the information you needed to know what went where. But I already spoiled it for you. So, all right, let's head back down below. I love that ship. That is really neat looking. That's why That's why Dozer has one of those in my Lake Casabo town. I love that thing. They did a really nice job building this thing. This is really, really cool looking. Some of the this is a city-sized ship, so it's quite large. And some players had asked if they would do a smaller version of a ship that they could fit like on a village lot. And they've done that. But I tell you, it just seems a little too cramped to me. It's a little crowded. And when you're on the ship, you don't. It doesn't feel like a ship. It just feels like I don't know. It's just very tight. It seems very awkward. This seems much more like a ship. I like this one. Well, this guy is powerful. Oh, there's something happened there. All right, so let's get back downstairs. And here's the rope. All right, so we're going to go back down the way we came, and then over, and we'll go past the little downtown area. Some more ore. There's a lot of ore around here, and some decent amount of cotton, a little bit of cotton. A lot of good trees, though. So if you're going to be doing any kind of carpentry or milling, this is a really good low-level place to go. And you can, and the trees, there are a lot of them right in the middle of the map. So you can go in here, kind of do it, get yourself a cycle, cycle going. Kill the wild boars or any of these relic hunters or whatever pop up, and just harvest the heck out of this place. So we're going to head back over here, and again that pond with that. I like that giant sword, but there's doesn't seem to be anything else to that. Maybe what they'll do is they may add some more puzzles at a later date in here or something. There's a lot of room for more stuff to do. So you can see from the map, we're coming back to the little town area. We're going to run right through the center of downtown. Now the story of this was that this used to be like a very big trading post, a center of this entire area, and that was a big, massive lake here, and I guess it was a river, and people were taking ships here. These were all supposed to be remains of old docks, so I guess people would sail their ships over, and then, this is more of a deserty area of the map now, so it all dried up, and that's why this town became abandoned. And now these kobolds have come in, and they try to turn the ruins into like a little trading post. Which makes sense. Everything is already sitting here. So I like these little background stories they come up with for us. So we're not quite ready to go to this lion's mouth yet. We got one more piece to go, but the one more piece we want is around the back of this. So we're headed up here. Now, notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of caves up here. And these two we're going to bypass. This is the one we want. This one over here, which looks like the biggest one, I could never find. I've searched all up here. And I was on top of it. I was running around on top of where it showed it was, but it doesn't seem to be anything there. I traveled all around. I fell off the top of the mountain a few times and climbed over all the rocks. I was finally dead set on top of this thing. I couldn't find anything. So I don't know. Maybe it was me, or maybe it's just not quite there. But all the other caves on the map I was able to find pretty easily. Oh, there's this big gorge right here, and it goes all the way down there and all the way up around there. You can see on the map here. And this is a really deep gorge. There's no climbing out of there. It's really, really deep. If you fall down there, and it's easy to do, there's the vine right here. If you click on that vine, you can climb up. At the very bottom down there, when you're running down below, you'll see like a little torch on the ground, and it kind of lights up, and right next to that is the vine. So you can click on the vine, and it'll take you right on up here. So if you fall down that gorge, don't say, oh no, I'm trapped. I got to exit the game and restart or something like that. You'll be fine. Just go to that, let's see, it's right around that corner right there. And you'll be fine. So look for all these bridges, and you'll find it. And some of these walkways are traps. You'll fall in if you stand there. So just keep running. These little caves are pretty short. They have like some stuff you can mine, like a little bit of gold. We don't really need that. But again, for exploratory purposes, it's pretty cool. All right, we're not gonna go back that way. Okay, so we're on this this big center thing now, and the cave we want is right up ahead. There's the entrance, and it looked like somebody did not make it in here. Yikes! What horrors await inside here? Ah, we got skeletons! Ah! Oh boy, that guy died fast. Okay, good. He had a lot of stuff on him too. All right. All these guys are, for skeletons with no pockets, they sure carry a lot of stuff around with them. All right, there's gonna be some more traps and stuff in here, I think. Maybe not. Ah, skeletons! Okay, so here's the third and final of these sarcophagus, and this one we're gonna do our last one, which is the ruby spear. So I'm gonna E on that. There's a spear, and it lights up. Okay, let's head back to that lion's mouth. I thought this was the spear at first because you can take it out of that guy's body, but it didn't do anything. So I had to come back up here another time and say, oh, I guess I don't have the right spear. So we're just going to take a shortcut down this way with my safe fall. There's a little downtown area. And there's the lion's head right up here. And you notice that all these things are lit up here. It's kind of hard to see in the daytime, but these things are lit. These candle things are all lit up and have a kind of a light blue glow. And notice all this is lit up. And now, look, there's lights coming off of the door. So I'm just going to click on the door. And here we go. All right, let's go inside here. Oh yeah. Oh no. That was poor timing on my part. All right. Don't get hit with the easy spears to avoid. All right, so we're gonna go into this, or the fire. Yeah. All right, here's a ghost. Ah, a ghost. Okay. Now, there are all these chests around it. These are all those fake chests. Those are those chests that if you click on it, it turns into like a crazed chest that tries to eat you. So don't mess with that. I'm going to turn off my power here, and I'm going to click on this. And yay, we won. We got all the stuff. And it's, the usual stuff. It's not great loot. But if you want the blessing of agility, this is where you're going to go. And this is what you're going to be doing every 3 days if this is something you really want to have. You'll come in here. I don't really want this because this character is all about strength, and you lose strength if you do this. A blessing of agility is either plus 20 or plus 30 to dexterity, and minus 10 to strength. So I don't want to do that on this character. But what you do is just stand here and you get it, and then you come back out, and that's it. All right, I'm going to see what happens. Let's just do it anyway. All right, let's see what it said up here. Blessing of agility, plus 30 dexterity. That's really good. It's good for 3 days. Minus 10 strength, which I don't care for. So let's see here. Look at, oh yeah, dexterity is now 75. And my strength is down to 72. So this was 82, and this was 45. So that's quite a difference. Now I can get rid of that. I can just click on it and get rid of it. But so that makes a big difference. If you are an archer, this is the place for you, because that's going to make your arrows that much better. Because again, with dexterity, determines the character's chance to dodge, chance to hit, and chance to land a critical hit with a physical attack. So this is going to be fantastic if you're an archer in light armor. Oh my goodness! You just click on dodge and fire your arrows. You're going to be hitting everything. It's really good. So that'll be really useful. And I mean, this will be good for me too, because I'll get a critical hit, but it's bludgeon, so the criticals aren't that much. Criticals are big with pole arms, of course. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and exit back out of here, trying to get myself skewered. All right, and that is South Midmaer Way and the Blessing of Agility. So I hope that helps out. This is kind of a cool map. And again, this is one of those maps that you come in here and just kind of explore and play around and see what you can find. I enjoyed it. And but again, if you're an archer, this is a place to be, I think, every 3 days to get your powers up. So, and it's not that hard. It takes a little bit of time. As you can see, you got to run around. Notice you have to go from one extreme side of the map to the other extreme side of the map to the other side. What a coincidence, huh? So it's a bit of a time sink, but the plus 30 helps out quite a bit. So anyway, that's going to do it for us. Until next time, this is Greg29407, along with Dozer saying arrivederci, and we will see you next time.